Welcome to Francis Quilts, the site dedicated to the wonderful art of quilting, with a few other fun things thrown in as well. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe. Hey guys, welcome back to Francis Quilts. Today I want to talk about a new tool that I have just learned about, again from Westalee. I do not work for them, I just happen to really like their product. These are called Stitching Lines discs, and I couldn't figure out what in the world that meant. But what it is a series of little discs like this that you can use when you want to test out a pattern to see how it's going to fit in an area, or maybe you want to draw it out on paper first to see how it works. The idea with these is that each one of these discs is 1/4 of an inch from the center to the outside, just like your quilting ruler is. So if I take one of these, and I'm going to use a little bit bigger one because I'm going to use a Sharpie marker when I'm doing it. Okay, let's see how it works. I have a piece of paper here that I have just drawn my guidelines on. I'm going to take this little disc and put it right in the center there, exactly in the position where my needle would be. And I'm going to take this ruler and place it, just snugging it down in there and lining up my line here. And then I'm going to take my Sharpie, put it in that hole, and I'm going to carefully come around here, up, down, around, and back to the center, just as if I had been sewing that. Now I'm going to turn it to the 90 degrees from where I was. And I line that up, line that edge up there, and I'm going to do the same thing. Sharpie in and follow along the edges. Now I will say it's almost harder to draw it than it is to physically sew it, I think, especially on these corners. Okay, so there's that one. Let's keep going around here. Line up on the edge here, line that up in the center, and here we go. You can tell that you're getting it lined up well because look how perfect those things are matching. That tells you that you're doing a good job with it, whether you're drawing it out or whether you're quilting it. Let's see if I can keep doing that good of a job. Last time around this way. All right, so there's that design. Now this time what I want to do is to turn the design the other way and see what happens if I add, see what it looks like. It'll give me a chance to see what it's going to look like. So I'm going to line this up in the center again. In this case, I don't have an area to nest that into, so I'm going to simply look here for the registration mark on this ruler and the registration mark there, and I'm going to come from here and I'm going to do this. Whoops, went too far. That's all right, doesn't matter. Turn it around and do the same thing here. Line the registration mark up here and down at the bottom. Put my, whoops, my ruler's got to be in the middle. Let me get it back up there. It's a little bit harder to see, I think, honestly, with this than it is with a when you're at the sewing machine. Around, down, back. Center. Let's do it again. Line up here, bring that in. Needs to come back just a little bit so that it's right in the center. I'm going to draw it again. And then one last time so we can see what this is going to look like if we have done something a little different from the normal. Put that in the center, line up edges, there we go. And then here we go one last time. Whoops, I keep hitting the edge of it. Let's try again. So voila. This is what this looks like if I alternate this ruler between the two different directions. Very different pattern. I kind of like it. I can see using it if I want to do something that's just a little different. I didn't have to take fabric and batting and stitch this out, I was able just to practice it on paper and see if I like it before I start using it. So that's just another quick tip for using your machine quilting rulers. Hope you're enjoying all of this series, and thanks for watching. Remember, if you like what you've seen, be sure to subscribe. You can also find my blog at francisquilts.com, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Francis Quilts, and on Pinterest at Francis Quilts 57. Hope to see you again soon. Keep on quilting.